The Lion and the Mouse. Mickey was jumping up and down and playing around. While playing, he fell on a sleeping lion. The lion became very angry. He caught the mouse and scared him. "I am going to eat you, oh you little one." Mickey got very scared and he said,
"Oh, mighty lion, please forgive me this time. I will never disturb you again. And if the need comes, I will surely help you."
The lion felt pity on this tiny mouse, so he left him and thought, "How can this tiny mouse ever help me?" After some days, the lion was caught in a hunter's net. Mickey saw this. He immediately ran towards the lion. He cut the net with his sharp teeth and saved the lion. Moral: no one is too small or too weak to help others. The crow who pretended. One day, a crow saw a beautiful peacock. He wanted to be as pretty as that peacock. So, he collected few peacock feathers and stuck them over his body. He looked very funny. The proud peacocks stared at him. "That foolish bird! Ha! He thinks he looks like us." And they went away. The other crows, who had always been his friends, now ignored him. This crow realized how foolish he was to commit that mistake. He went back to his friends and said,
"Please, friends, please forgive me and be my friends again. I understand how stupid I was. I will always be happy to be a crow."
Moral: be happy with what you are. The clever crow. Chintu was a very clever crow. One day, he left his home in search of food. It was a very hot summer day. "Oh, I'm very thirsty." He looked for water everywhere but could not find any. At last, he found a pond which had very little water. He could not reach the water. He thought for a while. I have an excellent idea." He started picking up the stones one by one and dropped them into the pot till the water rose up. Soon the water came up. Chintu drank the water happily and flew away. Moral: there is always a way out of every difficulty. The clever donkey. One day, a hungry lion went to the river to drink water. A donkey was also drinking water on the opposite side of the bank. The lion saw the donkey and made a plan to catch the donkey for lunch. And so he said, "Hey, Mr. Donkey, are there any horses on your side of the bank? I wish to hear them sing." The donkey did not suspect foul play, and so he said, "But there are no horses here, Your Highness. But don't worry, I will sing it for you." So the donkey closed his eyes and started singing. The lion caught the donkey immediately. But the donkey was very clever, and so he said, "Your Highness, I am ready to become your lunch. But I have heard that strong and powerful lions like you always pray to God before their lunch." The lion was pleased as he considered himself as the most powerful animal. So he closed his eyes and started praying. The donkey got a chance, and so he ran away. The lion was fooled by a clever donkey. Moral: presence of mind is the greatest power. The hare and the tortoise. One day, a hare and a tortoise decided to run a race. Many animals gathered to watch the race. The monkey shot the gun and both of them started running. The hare started off very fast. Soon, the tortoise was left far behind.
I am sure to win the race. I will take a little nap before the tortoise comes.
The hare laid down on the grass and fell asleep. But he overslept. The tortoise kept walking slowly and steadily, and very soon he passed the hare. When the hare woke up, he saw that the tortoise had already passed him and won the race. Moral: slow and steady wins the race. The greedy dog. Roger was a naughty little dog. He was very fond of bones. One day, while walking across the road, he found a very juicy bone. He picked that bone immediately.
Hey, I have found my favorite dish.
He started walking back home happily. On the way, while crossing a bridge, Roger looked into the water and found another dog holding a bone in his mouth. Roger was very greedy. I want that bone too. Somehow, I will have to get it from him. He decided to bark at the dog, frighten him, and steal that bone from him. He opened his mouth to bark at the other dog, which actually was his own reflection. The bone slipped from his mouth and fell into the street. Poor Roger had to go back home hungry. The lion and the cows. Once there were 4 cows. They were very good friends. They always used to be together, and so the enemies found it difficult to attack them. A jackal who lived on the leftovers of the lion did not get enough food and was hungry. So he thought, I should do something to put an end to their unity. So he met each cow one by one when they were a small distance away from each other and said,
Do you know, dear, your 3 friends have decided to leave you. They are going to the next field where there is a lot of green grass.
After hearing this, each cow became very angry. And they said,
Is that so? I will go before they reach there.
And they went to the next field one by one without telling each other. The lion, who was waiting for this chance, killed the cows and had a feast. Even the jackal got plenty of food and was very happy. Moral: unity is strength. The monkey's justice. One day, 2 cats found a piece of bread. One of them jumped and picked it up. The other cat tried to snatch it from her. On this, the first cat said,
It's my bread. I picked it up first.
On this, the other cat said,
No, it's mine. I saw it first.
And they started fighting. While they were fighting, a monkey was passing by. The cats requested him to act as a judge and settle their fight. The monkey agreed and said, Give that piece of bread to me. The monkey cut the bread in 2 pieces. Looking at them, he shook his head and said, These 2 parts are not equal. This is bigger than this. So he ate a bit from the bigger part. But again, the parts were not equal. So he ate a bit from the other part. This went on and on and on till small bits were left. And then he turned to the cats and said, "Oh, how can I give such small pieces to both of you?" And then he ate them too. Poor cats! They were left empty-handed and hungry. Now they realized that in the quarrel of two, the third one always benefits. Moral: when two quarrel, a third one always gains. The two beggars. Mohan and Sohan were two beggars. They used to sit near a temple and beg for food and money. Mohan was blind, so he could not see. Sohan was lame, so he could not walk. One day, a rich man came there and said, "Dear friends, I am having a very big feast at my place. I request you both to come there for lunch." Mohan and Sohan decided to help each other and go for the feast. Mohan carried Sohan on his back and Sohan showed him the way, and both went to the feast. They enjoyed the excellent food and returned happily. Moral: we must always help each other. The two crows. One day, two crows, Bholu and Golu, had a fight to prove their superiority. Bholu said,
"Hey, I am superior as I'm bigger in size."
Hearing this, Golu said,
"No, I am superior since I'm elder to you."
They decided on a challenge to fly with a bag in their beak. The one who flies higher wins. Golu was a mean crow. He put cotton balls in his bag and salt in Bholu's bag. The two crows then started flying. Soon, Golu started flying higher and higher than Bholu since he was carrying a lighter bag. But even after trying hard, Bholu could not fly higher than Golu since he had a heavy weight. As the crows were flying, it started raining. The cotton balls soaked in water and became heavier. On the other hand, the salt got dissolved, thus making Bolu's bag very light. Now, Bolu started flying higher than Golu, and thus he won the challenge. Moral: cheaters will always be losers. Two silly goats. Gopu and Ramu were two silly goats. One day, both of them were trying to cross a bridge. They both met in the middle of the bridge. The bridge was very narrow. Both of them could not pass each other. Each one of them wanted to be the first to cross the bridge. So they started fighting. The two silly goats kept on fighting. And eventually, they both fell into the river and were drowned. Moral: foolishness is always punished. The ugly tree. Once upon a time, in a large forest, there grew many different trees such as mango, teak, oak, banyan, neem, etc. Amongst them, there was one tree which had a crooked trunk. It looked ugly compared to the other trees. The other trees used to tease him, saying,
You're an ugly tree. Oh no, you're such an ugly tree.
The poor tree was very sad and he always thought,
Oh God, why did you make me so ugly? Why am I not beautiful like other trees?
One day, a woodcutter came to the forest. He saw the ugly crooked tree and said,
This crooked tree is of no use to me. I will cut down the other straight trees.
He cut down the other straight trees except the crooked tree. On seeing this, the crooked tree said,
Thank God! My ugliness saved my life. We should never blame God for our troubles. God has a reason behind everything.
Moral: never blame God. There is always a reason behind his deeds. The Fox and the Crow. The fox was feeling very hungry. He was searching for food here and there. He saw a crow with a piece of bread in his beak. He wanted that piece of bread from the crow. So he thought of an idea and began praising the crow.
Hey, Crow! You look very beautiful. Can you sing a song for me? I'm sure your voice will be very sweet.
Listening to this, the crow became very happy. So he immediately opened his beak to sing a song. The moment he opened his beak, the piece of bread fell down. The fox, who was waiting for this, picked up the bread, ate it, and ran away happily. Moral: foolish pride always has a fall. The Fox and the Grapes. One day, Jackie went to a grapes garden. There, he saw a bunch of grapes hanging from the vine. His mouth started watering.
Wow! The grapes must be very sweet. I want to eat them.
He jumped up to grab the grapes, but could not reach them. He jumped again and again and again, but could not reach them. And eventually, he hurt himself.
I'm sure these grapes must be sour. I don't want to eat them.
And he went away. Moral: don't blame others for your failure.